Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to talk to you about some apps and software and kind of digital things that help hand lettering artists just do things a little bit better or easier or in a more fun way. Obviously hand lettering is done by hand. It's a lot of the time it's analog, but that doesn't mean that everything to do with hand lettering is analog. There are a lot of handy digital, like I said, apps and software and stuff like that that is really handy for actually creating the artwork, promoting the artwork, and all sorts of other jazz. So I'm just going to run you through my list of top things and have a wee chat to you about them. Okay, so the first app that I have found really fun and really kind of handy, and one that you'll probably know if you are a lettering artist or kind of any sort of illustrator, and that is Procreate. So Procreate is an iPad app. It might be on other devices, but I use it on the iPad Pro, which isn't actually mine, it's my boyfriend Sam's, but I steal it from time to time. And Procreate is pretty much like, it's like having a Wacom tablet or like a drawing tablet, but you draw straight onto the iPad with an Apple Pencil. And pretty much it just lets you draw digital vectors and then you can send them to your other devices and import them to Illustrator and things like that. You can make custom brushes, you can download brushes, you can buy brushes from other people, you can, like I said, create your own, and it's just a really cool way of creating hand lettering without using pencil and paper, and that can quite often be really handy if you're trying to do things quite quickly, because you don't have to worry about, if you make a mistake, you don't have to rub anything out, you can just like undo, or you can do lots of layers, so you can have a pencil layer and then you can have an ink layer and then you can just keep going with the layers. And yeah, if you are thinking about getting into hand lettering, it's definitely worth having a play around with Procreate. It does cost, I think, maybe $6.49, I think maybe was what it was in New Zealand, but it will be different depending on where you live. But it's definitely worth having a play around with, seeing if you like the digital aspect of things, because it also means you have to get used to using the Apple Pencil and the Apple iPad Pro. So if you're into that and you have those devices, definitely give it a go. If you don't have those devices, think about it before you purchase it, because you're going to have to pay a lot of money to get both the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil and Procreate. But if you have the means to, definitely have a look at it and see if it seems like something you would be into. So that is the first app I would recommend, and that is Procreate. The next app is actually quite similar to Procreate. It's called Adobe Sketch, and Adobe Sketch is quite similar to Procreate, but it's based off Photoshop, so it uses the same kind of layer mechanisms, shapes, drawing, all those sorts of things. So maybe if you're more used to Photoshop, you could try that out, because it's easy to use. I think it's also free and you can use it on your iPhone if you already have that. Next is another Adobe app. I've actually got quite a few on here because they are really handy. The next is Adobe Capture. I've written about this in a few blog posts and probably talked about it. I think I used it in my 15-minute logo challenge, so if you haven't seen that, you can watch that somewhere and you'll see me using it. But basically you can take a drawing that you've done, use your phone, capture what you've drawn, and it turns it into a vector for you, and then you can send it straight to Adobe Illustrator through your Creative Cloud libraries. So it's really handy, especially if you're doing like quick icons that you are doing hand drawn, or quick lettering sketches that you're doing that you maybe want to send and just tidy up in Illustrator. It's really handy for that, and is also free. I also couldn't do this video without mentioning Adobe Illustrator. So Illustrator is a part of Adobe Creative Cloud, and it's one of their main programs. and it's used for illustrating, hence why it's called Illustrator. And if you are a hand lettering artist, it's really helpful because you can use the pen tool to turn your lettering into a vector, and then you can scale that lettering as big or as small as you want. You can incorporate it into some logo designs. You can do pretty much whatever you want. Illustrator is pretty much really, I would say, quite vital if you are a hand lettering artist, unless you do everything analog. But if you are looking to vectorize anything or add any effects or anything, Illustrator is the way to go. The last Adobe product that I'm going to mention is Adobe Color. So Adobe Color is the color app that Adobe does, which sounds really stupidly straightforward, but it's really helpful for creating color palettes, for finding new color combinations. You can save all the colors to your library, so whether you're using any Adobe products on your phone or your iPad or your laptop or your computer, desktop computer, whatever it might be, you can save them in your libraries and they'll be everywhere, and you can name them. So you might have a library for one project and a library for another, or you might just have a whole collection of colors. It's just a really cool way of managing your colors and looking out for new exciting ways of using color, and I would definitely recommend that if you are a color user in your lettering, which I am not really. I kind of do a lot of things in black and white, but I do like to peruse some other color combinations and color options too. Next and almost last, I would say that a must-have for a lettering artist right now in this current scheme of things is to have Instagram. So Instagram has blown up for lettering artists. It's insane how many followers some lettering artists have, but it really is great if you're trying to get out there and get your work out there and maybe get some feedback on what you're doing and connect with other lettering artists. Instagram is really great, so you can search the lettering hashtags to have a look at some other inspiration you might need. You can kind of follow other people and join the lettering community. You can get other people interested in your work through Instagram. So if you are not already on Instagram and you are hand lettering or doing typography, you need to get on there right now. After this video, I need you to go straight over to Instagram and start one because that's what you need to be doing. So definitely I would encourage that. Another way of kind of both getting people interested in your work and also getting inspiration is using Pinterest. And I know that Pinterest has this weird kind of stigma that it's for middle-aged women who just want to do craft things, and kind of, but I'm also not a middle-aged woman and I love the craft things, but it's also really great for lettering. So there's a lot of insane design stuff on Pinterest, including lettering and typography. So if you're not already on Pinterest, I definitely recommend using it to get inspiration and have a look at stuff, see what other people are doing, and also you can upload your own work onto there. So you can add your own artworks and lettering pieces as pins, and then people can pin them to their own boards and you can pin them to your boards, and it's can be really effective marketing and kind of a way of getting your work out there, because if it looks nice, then people are going to jump on it, and people want their Pinterest boards to look beautiful. And so if you can add a little bit of beauty to their Pinterest board, they'll probably be very appreciative. You can also follow me on Pinterest. I use it quite a lot and I have too many boards, but also hopefully helpful boards. So please do follow me if you want some inspiration and some motivation to make your boards look cool too. Cool, so those are my selection of apps and software that I would recommend kind of taking a look at or trying out if you are a hand lettering artist. Obviously some of them are more expensive than others, some of them will work for some people, some of them won't. So just have a look and see what will work for you. You've probably heard of quite a lot of them already, but maybe you just didn't think of trying them out or giving them a go, or maybe didn't think they were relevant for you. But I definitely think they're all worth giving a go and trying out and seeing what works for you. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that it's been helpful and also maybe given you a bit of insight into the programs that I use. Let me know if there are any more lettering videos or tech related videos or anything that you would like to see from me. I always am wanting to create videos that you guys want to watch and that are helpful for you, so please let me know. And as always, I hope that you're being creative and productive, and I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye!